Hey there, Patriots. This is True Outlaw Patriot coming at you with another one. I'm doing a reaction on a song by Dax. It came out about a month ago, I believe. It's called Life. Um, I was scrolling through and I came across it, listened to it, checked out the lyrics, and it's pretty deep. It touches a lot, in my opinion, about how people um, can let, everyday life get the better of them. Okay, and it seems like it's something that's been happening more and more and more. And there's a lot of reasons that everybody can pick and choose out of thin air, and say, well, this fits my situation, this fits my situation, this fits my situation, because there is so much going on, not only in this country, but all around the world. And it just seems like a lot of people that are going through so much, others are trying to tell them that, you know what, well, just try this. Your situation is not that hard, or try this. I've been through worse. Everybody, in my opinion, has to deal with something hard in their lives at one point or another. And a lot of people tend to give up, very easily. And with the way things are going on, the ways of this world, it's easy for all that to pile on top of what you're already going through in your own personal life. And it makes things very hard. It makes the struggle very hard. But before I continue with the video, I just want to thank all my subscribers on YouTube and on Rumble, and everyone leaving me all the great comments. I even had one subscriber bless my channel, telling me that, basically saying, for God to keep my channel going. And I thank that, that subscriber for that. Because this is not easy. There's a lot that's been going on, but we'll get to that when I give my thoughts after the song. So don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and pass it around, pass the channel around. People need to understand that there's a lot of things going on, and there is a big movement going on. Okay? But we'll get to that also again. And also, if you want to help support the channel, in the description, I have my my Cash App link and my PayPal. So without further ado, Dax, in my opinion, never fails. So here we go. The name of the song is called Life.
Like snort.
This life gets real hard, and sometimes you may feel you're out of place. You may think there's time, then blink and find it's gone and you can't waste. You gotta let go, hold, embrace it, close your eyes and walk by faith and go today. Don't wait, hey, go today. Don't wait, go today. Life is crazy, it could switch up in a second. School of hard knocks taught me how to deal with my aggression. I was never one to cry, my face was blank with no expression. Had to keep a strong face, go to war with my depression. I was hurting.
I like that right there, what he said about the School of Hard Knocks, and having to like hold, basically hold your tears back and keep a straight face. Being born and raised in the Bronx, I know a lot of people in this day and age are like, oh, I'm from New York, I'm from the Bronx, I'm this, I'm that. If anybody has seen, what's going on with the big cities, that there's so many people that have life just looking at it in the wrong perspective. They're being told what to think, what to say, what to do. When I was born and raised in the streets of New York, in the Bronx, we had to hold a lot in. Okay, there was no such thing as dealing with depression. Okay, We had to get up in the morning. We had to deal with life. We had to, roll with the punches. And hopefully, somebody would understand or somebody would see what we were going through and come on and say, come here, let me give you a couple of words of encouragement, or let me take you under my wing, And that was somebody outside the family, because a lot of times, like me and a lot of other my friends, our fathers were out there working, 12, 13, 14-hour days, So we didn't have a lot of times that father figure only when he had time off that we could go do something. But a lot of times when we went to go do things, it was like I would forget, to tell him what was going on in my life. And I think that's happening a lot more right now, and people are lashing out in a different way, and they're not being heard. Nobody's uplifting anybody anymore. Everybody's tearing each other down, from the school system to politics to what's going on, around the world, what's going on with religion, people's personal beliefs. It just seems like so many people are saying, well, you know what, I'm here for you, but yet others are tearing people down and making it seem like, oh, you know what, that's just life, and it's not, and it shouldn't be like that. But let's continue.
Inside battling with my faith, but God ain't never gave me nothing I can overtake. He put me in position to get stronger through the pain, to appreciate the sun after the rain. We gotta remind that it gets better with time, and we got one life to live, it's guaranteed that we die. So when we open our eyes and take a look in the sky, just be thankful and conquer the day, yeah. This life gets real.
I like that when he said the way God gives them, strength, and he's got to hold on to the faith. That's another thing that's going on. We're hearing about it more and more, especially in the schools where they're trying to take God out of the equation. And everybody's wondering why there are so many people out there dealing with depression and so many people out there committing crimes and stuff like that. And it's because there is no faith-based structure going on. They're trying to dismantle that. On top of the fact that a lot of people, especially a lot of young people, they're dealing with what's going on, in their personal lives and in the world, and then having people from God knows where just coming and feeding more poison into their heads. Instead of somebody coming out and saying, listen, have you, do you believe in God? Have you prayed to God today? Do you know him? A lot of times I've asked a lot of people that question, and believe it or not, I've asked a lot of younger people to me that question, and I'm amazed of the answers that I get, and a lot of it is negative. It's like, oh, he don't care. I hear it a lot. He don't care about me. He don't care about what I'm going through. And it's heartbreaking because I'm not a perfect man. I mean, I have my days just like anybody else, but I still got to get up in the morning, and I still got to say my prayers, and I still got to get through the day. And there's times where I can see that someone else is struggling, so I gotta push my problems back just so I can try to lend a helping hand or give a kind word, or just to stand there and just listen to somebody vent, and still push through the day. But I believe that when those moments come, it's God giving me that strength, because I've always believed, and it's hard for a lot of people to understand, but I believe that God puts people in each other's lives for a reason. And some people go through bad things. So it, in my opinion, it's just how you perceive it. Like whatever situation you're in, sometimes we got to, sit back and stop and say, well, then why is this happening to me? Or why is that person going through this that I care about? Or, why is this happening to this person, that I don't even know? I was just walking down the street and that thing happened. That there's a lot to absorb with what's going on in the world, but I do believe that if, as much as a simple prayer every day to God can get us through. But let's continue.
Real hard, and sometimes you may feel you're out of place. You may think there's time, then blink and find it's gone and you can't waste. You gotta let go, hold, embrace it, close your eyes and walk by faith, and go today. Don't wait, go today. Don't wait, go today. Go today, don't wait for tomorrow. It isn't coming, start the time you got borrowed. Don't live your life for other people, don't bottle your emotions till they crack and fill a cup with your sorrows. I take your mind and refocus, go get a paper, write your goals out, throw your middle for fingers at all your haters, add some hard work and on top of it, mix it.
I like that. I like that right there when he said, you know, get a paper, you know, write your thoughts down and, you know, put your middle finger up to your haters. You know, a lot of people may find that to be a little, you know, rough, but it's sometimes it's true. Sometimes, you know, you need to put your foot down and be like, you know what, what's truly holding me back? What, you know, what's messing me up? You know, the fact that I want to speak my opinion and I got people, you know, censoring me from what it is I want to say or what I want to think, but yet they can do whatever they want. Or somebody telling me, you know what, you'll never accomplish anything. You'll never be able to, you know, own a home or get a good job. Or somebody telling me, you know, you'll never make it into that college, you know, or you'll never be with that person, or you'll never be a good person. You know, there's a lot of negativity going on in the world. And you know, I look at a lot of these, you know, young people that are dealing with, you know, with a lot of depression, and it's sad because when I was growing up as a kid, we didn't deal with that. I hate to say it, we really didn't. In the past 20, 25 years, I mean, the epidemic of depression, I call it an epidemic because it's gotten so rampant. And if you look at what's going on in society and the way the powers that be are trying to structure so much chaos into everybody's life. You know, all it takes is a few minutes for anybody to sit down and say, you know what, let me write this down. Let me write down what's bothering me. You know, let me write down what makes me feel good. Let me see if that, you know, if that aligns with, you know, something that I can deal with, you know, to move forward. You know, what is it exactly that's affecting me? You know, what's making me angry? You know, what's upsetting me? You know, I mean, it's like, there's so many people that are they're so butthurt over a couple of words because they're being offended, but yet they don't see the harm that they're doing to other people when they try to shut them down, you know, and make them feel like dirt because of something that they believe in, you know. And it a lot of times it all stems from a lot of you know, the political arena, you know. The way the left is always trying to censor, you know, people on the right or anybody that doesn't agree with them, even their own. They try to censor and they try to put all this chaos into people and make you feel down. And, you know, you have to rise above that and be like, no, you know, if I know I'm a good person and I want good things and I want to lead in a good way, I can't let everything else around me stop that. I can't be afraid. I got to keep pushing forward. But let's continue.
Consistent prayer saying never gonna quit, sayonara and see you later. Cause I gotta remind that we not meant to survive, we meant to live in the moment and make the best of our lives.
Amen.
So when we open our eyes and take a look in the sky, just be thankful and conquer the day. Yeah. This life gets real hard and sometimes you may feel you're out of place. You may think there's time, then blink and find it's gone and you can't waste. You gotta take a hold, embrace it, close your eyes and walk by faith and go today. Don't wait, go today. Don't wait, go today.
I like that. You know, sometimes it's true. You got to close your eyes and you got to go by faith. You know, when I started this YouTube channel back in July, I think I said it once or twice before. I didn't expect to get, 10 subscribers. Okay. And I know a lot of people may say, well, you only got a little over 320. That's nothing. I get it. That's all good. But you know what? For somebody that never did this before, I didn't know anything about a laptop. I didn't know anything about a camera. But what I did know was that I needed something. I needed a way out because of something tragic that happened in my life. And I was sitting at home, you know, dealing with the pain and all that. And I was like, you know what? I got to do something because I can't go out into the street and scream because then they'll think I'm a psycho, you know. I feel like an emotional burden to people at times. And I think that's the way a lot of people feel. They feel like they're an emotional burden, so they don't want to tell anybody what's going on. So I had to just basically, you know, say, you know what, I'm going to try this and, you know, and ask God, you know, to help me, you know, do the right thing when I do this. You know, it's not just, you know, for me to do something to try to, you know, get better in life. I guess I don't know where it can take me. Something, to make me somewhat, I guess, famous or financially, okay, I guess. But the one thing that I always, I prayed was like, that I could also help people. Okay, through spreading awareness of what's going on. And believe me, there's a lot of content I want to put out, and I'll get to it. But the powers that be want people to just stay quiet. They want you to make money for them, but they want you to also stay quiet. And it's like, well, how can I live my life like that if I got to look at everything that's going on? And if it's my calling to want to help people, I cannot be afraid to do that. I got to close my eyes and do it by faith and say, you know what, Lord, help me help this person, or help me say something that can probably encourage other people, and get them out of that depression that they're feeling. Depression is not, if at least for me, it's not just something that you can turn on and off. Okay. It's something that people have to deal with. And a lot of times when it comes to depression, it's everything around you that makes it worse. But you have to try and be a little stronger. And I'm not knocking anything away from people that deal with it heavy. Believe me, there's a lot of people in my life that deal with it to this day. And it's a scary thing because they're scared to move forward little by little. And we all get like that. We're all human. But what are we doing, and what are we doing for others to lift them up? It's hard to lift somebody up. I know, trust me. I mean, sometimes we're too afraid to, or too afraid to say the wrong thing, or we don't know what to say, but a prayer a day, can go a long way in your life. And, getting back to, when I said I speak to, I've spoken to a lot of people that think that God has no time for them. That really bothers me. I remember many, many years ago, I was on a job and I was going through something, and there was some older guy there. He was from I think he was from Ecuador or something like that. And everybody was having a conversation, putting their 2 cents, and it was just a bunch of guys. And he said the most nasty thing to me when I brought up, my situation. And I was like, well, I'm going through this, and that. This man looked at me. He goes, oh, what do you think? God's listening to you? He's got more important things to deal with than to worry about your problem. And that really, I'll be honest, that really pissed me off. I was just like, I wanted to just punch this dude in his mouth. But, you're not supposed to get violent. But I was like, well, damn, dude. It's like, people are saying put your faith in God, but yet, you have some people say, oh, God don't want to listen to you. God has bigger things to take care of. And I think that's why a lot of people have a hard time dealing, with a lot of things, anxiety, depression. It's because they feel that there's no hope. Okay. And trust me, there's days that it gets really rough, but you got to stay a little stronger. I mean, every time I make a video, I really don't know what to say. I don't write anything out. I don't script it. When I do these reaction videos, I just, look at whatever content and I just let my thoughts flow. Why? Because they're mine, and this is how I feel. This is how I think. And if I had to have somebody step on me and tell me you can't speak, or you're not allowed to say this, say this or do that, then that can bring a person down. And I will not let anybody do that to me. Okay? Because whatever I say and I do, that's on me. If I can help change somebody's life for the better, then great. I'm doing something good. But I'm not going to stop somebody, okay, and hold them back. Out of greed, out of envy, out of wanting power and control. That's not how it is. We're supposed to, seize the day, enjoy the day. I mean, there's, if I'm correct, there's a Bible verse that says, do not worry about tomorrow, because tomorrow has its own problems. Forget about yesterday. Don't worry about tomorrow. It has its own problems you got to deal with today. And a lot of people are going through a lot right now with a lot of anxiety of what tomorrow is going to bring, with everything that's going on in the world, everything that's going on in this country, everything that's going on social media, all the censorship, all the bad mouthing, all the shaming, all the vilifying. And a lot of it is done by people on the left, by the powers that be. And then when you have all these people that are dealing with so much depression, they're like, well, we don't know what to do with that. What are you talking about? You started it. You planted that seed. If you take God out the equation, then what hope does anybody really have? So we got to stay strong. That's why I'm always saying at the end of my videos to stay vigilant, to keep praying for each other. Now, some people say, well, you know what? If I had to pray for everybody, I'd be praying all day. You know what? That's true, but that's not the way it has to be also. Okay? Your covenant with God can help you get through a lot. And then that'll emanate to help others. You may not see it. I mean, more times than none, I've had people that I know come to me and say, the other day when we were talking, you really helped me out. And I don't remember what I said. I had a friend of mine tell me one time that we were only friends for like 2 or 3 months. One time when I was living in Orlando, and it was a neighbor of mine, and we were just talking, and we would drink a couple of beers every now and again and whatever, and just talk, and then one day we're hanging out, and he looked at me and he goes, because of you, I want to be a better person. And I looked at him, and it almost made me, drop a few tears, because I looked at him. I said, what are you talking about? And he goes, that conversation we had the other day, every time I talk to you, you make me want to be a better person. And that really touched me, because I was like, man, I don't really know you. I mean, I know you a couple of months, but it's not like we grew up together. You know what I mean? So sometimes, with everything that's going on, when somebody says they're feeling down, lift them up. When somebody is telling you that you don't have the right, to how to raise your children, or who to believe, you can't believe in God, you can't stand up for your country, you can't be a patriot, you can't say this, and this, because it offends people. Listen, forget about what everybody else is thinking. You need to deal with what's going on in yourself, in your life, and you need to push that positive message forward. And you don't have to go out there and do it, but if you're doing it for yourself, I think it emanates and other people see it, and then it'll just keep going and going and going. So I hope everything I said with this video is on point with the meaning to the song. Okay, I'm looking at it from what I'm perceiving. If I'm wrong, I'm sure somebody's going to leave a comment about it, or 2 or 10, which is fine. But this is all still new to me, and I'm very grateful. Okay, because I was afraid. Because I was like, you know what? I mean, I know what it is to hang out with people. I don't know what it is to get on camera and start doing reaction on everything else that's going on in the world. And have as much as any say so in anything. There's over 8 billion people on this planet. That's 8 billion different, attitudes and opinions, and I'm using the word attitudes because you know what I wanted to say. But, yeah, I think that, Dax, this was great. It was different. I like the melody. Okay. I like the message. And, he's a really, really good artist. He really, really is. But with that being said, don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, give it a thumbs up. If you can support the channel, like I said, I'll leave my Cash App and PayPal description in the link in the description. And pass the channel around. All right. So remember, stay vigilant, keep praying, and keep praying for each other. Peace.